Iceland, one of the most natural landscapes in Europe. In addition to its famous geysers, fire and lava-spitting volcanoes and mighty glaciers, this remote island in the North Atlantic has a large number of magnificent waterfalls. The spectacle of the untamed torrents of the Dettifoss that constantly plunge into the depths below is one of the most impressive natural spectacles in Iceland. The vast masses of water that flow through this waterfall come from the large glacial Jokulsa Fjoellum river. The source of this river is located on the northern edge of the Myvatn Jökull that covers around 8% of Iceland and is the second largest glacier in Europe. The waters of the Jokulsa Fjoellum race 44 meters into the depths below. They create a huge cloud of mist above the Dettifoss that can be seen from some distance away. The Dettifoss waterfall contains more water than any other in Europe. It's 100 meters wide, and in summer 1,500 cubic meters of water per second flow through it. This glacial river that flows through northern Iceland also contains large quantities of pebbles and stones. The large thundering of its raging torrents and the great clouds of fine mist above it leave a lasting impression of the natural power of nature on anyone who visits the Dettifoss. For the first 150 kilometers, the waters of the Jokulsa Fjoellum flow slowly north. But then the river suddenly changes pace, its speed increases, and then the first waterfalls make it flow even faster. At least as impressive as the huge volume of water that it contains are the vast masses of pebbles, sand and mud that the glacial river carries with it each day. Around 120,000 tons of stone and sediment. So erosion forces the riverbed deeper and deeper into the ground. And it also does something else. Each year, the edge of the Dettifoss moves approximately 1 meter upstream. The surrounding landscape is also worth a closer look. Various flowers add a touch of color amid the rock and ice that dominates this remote country. Icelandic flora consists of around 470 indigenous varieties. Despite Iceland's northern location, it contains only a few Arctic and alpine plants, as it has a temperate ocean climate. The Foss waterfall is the smaller relation to the Dettifoss, and it is part of the same river, the Jokulsa Fjoellum. – 27 meters high, the Foss is also an impressive sight. It is situated just a few kilometers from the Dettifoss waterfall. Together with the 10-meter-high Selfoss, the three waterfalls are part of one of the most remarkable and fascinating regions in Iceland. It is particularly in the winter months, when the level of the glacial river increases, that the waterfalls in the north of Iceland are at their most magnificent. The powerful forces of erosion that these great masses of water unleash is apparent by the deep canyons near to the Fjoellum that were created millions of years ago. Due to Iceland's extensive glacial network, the Jokulsa of Fjoellum will also eventually cut its way deeper into the ground to form even more wonderful canyons. The Godafoss, one of Iceland's most famous waterfalls, is located in the Myvatn region and is thought by many to be a geological wonder. This splendid waterfall plunges down in 2 cascades and can be seen from the road. The Godafoss waterfall is part of a mighty glacial river whose source is in the south. The 175-kilometre-long Fjoellum is one of the largest and most important rivers in the north of Iceland. On its journey to the sea, it travels past a large variety of landscapes. Known as the Waterfall of the Gods, the Godafoss plunges only 12 metres, yet its unique splendour managed to enchant Iceland's first settlers. It was given its name more than 1,000 years ago. At that time on the Althing in Fjoellum, an important meeting of Iceland's chiefs took place, at which it was decided to adopt Christianity. Little is known of the religious belief of Iceland's early settlers. However, it's thought that they worshipped ancient German gods. The heathen gods continued to be worshipped in the early years that Christianity arrived here. This ceased when one of the Icelandic chiefs set an example. A Goda, as Iceland's chieftains were once known, cast each of his ancient heathen images into the roaring torrents of the waterfall. By way of this symbolic gesture, Jokulsa gave up his heathen belief. Various other Godas soon followed his example. Thus, Godafoss, the Waterfall of the Gods, is an apt name. The decline of the old deities made way for the rise of Christianity. The rivers have shaped this country almost as much as its volcanoes and the ice of its glaciers. There is no doubt at all that the waterfalls in the north of Iceland are one of the most spectacular natural wonders in this unique and fascinating land.